Hey you guys, and this has been sort of a interesting day, and I mean sort of like what the big news is going on this day and from is Steve Jobs is now dead. And we knew that he had cancer for a long time, so he knew that he had only a couple more weeks to live. So I know he was expecting it. So what I'm trying to say is, it's sort of hard to realize that we lost a freaking genius. Cause I mean, everything that you have now, an iPod Touch, iPod Shuffle, not really a shuffle. You know what? Screw the shuffle. But iPods in general, he just improved all the MP3 players, and if it wasn't for him, maybe you wouldn't have the phones that you have right now. Not the Android phones, maybe not the Android phones, and especially not the iPhone. And I know a lot of people love the iPhones. I mean, their careers are based off iPhones, so Steve Jobs has really helped people. And even if you don't own any Apple products, I mean, he still affected you in some way. And it's really hard to lose somebody like that, because he was really big, and he was just a really well-known guy. And I mean, he's just a genius, man. And I don't know. How I found out is that my cousin actually texted me and said, "Have you heard the news about Steve Jobs?" And at first I thought he was meaning like that I thought he meant like taking out his position as CEO of Apple, but he was actually talking about that he has died. And so I was like, no way. And at this point I thought it was like something that he watched or read that may have been misleading and untruthful. So I looked up, and there's I went on YouTube, and the page where like all your subscribers, you get to see all their videos and that sort of stuff. Yeah, all that page was just filled with Steve Jobs. And because that sort of shows you that he has made a pretty big impact on the world. And so if you think about that, you might not have everything that you have right now because of him. So make sure to do something for him, because I admit it, he has changed my life. I mean, at first I started off doing Apple videos, and so that basically hit off my YouTube career. Now I'm getting paid for it. I'm not in the partnership, but I'm getting paid for it. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, Steve Jobs, and he was a really good person. And yeah, it's just sort of sad to lose somebody like that. And so, anyways, if you didn't like Steve Jobs, if you hate him for some reason, I mean, don't hate on him, just be happy. Not happy that he's dead, I mean like, wow, I just mixed it up. Okay, so don't be like, thank God he's dead. Don't do that. I mean, even if you don't have any of his stuff, or if you prefer Android over iPods or Apple, I mean, don't put that in front of you to not see the guy that has came up with all this new technology that you have now today. Just don't let that fool you, because I mean, he was really smart, and if it wasn't for him, you probably wouldn't have anything at all that you have today. So just sort of be thankful, because I mean, I know a lot of people that are gonna be really selfish and say, well, other people are gonna find out about it, over time. And yeah, that might be true, but that might not be for like 10 years, 40 years, you never know. And so just don't hate on him because of his products. And if you don't like him, then just don't be a dick about it. And so I just want to say thanks, Steve Jobs, because it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have MacBooks and, you know, all this cool stuff. iPods. I know a lot of people that have iPods and they use them every day, and iPhones and all that sort of stuff. I mean, people use this every day of their lives. And so I just want to go ahead and have everybody, if you will be willing to, comment below, rest in peace Steve Jobs, or just RIP Steve Jobs. And so yeah, and I don't know, when I found this out, I thought it was very untrue, and I looked it up more, and there was this one video that I saw, and they actually made a page on Apple of Steve Jobs, and that pretty much confirms his death. I mean, they have a page for him too, and if you would like to see that, it's in the description below. But yeah, so that pretty much confirms it now. And another interesting thing is that I think Steve Jobs sort of just gave up his CEO position to who was it? Tom, something like that. I think he gave it up to him because he knew he was gonna die, and he just thought that whoever Tom, whatever his name is, was the best for the job. And so I mean I know to some people they're like, duh, not shit. So yeah, that's sort of just my opinion. I mean, I know if I were dying and I had like a trillion dollar company, I would want to give it to somebody that I trust. And so yeah, I mean, I don't think that the Apple products are actually going to get any better with this new CEO. But you know what? You never know. Maybe he'll be the new and improved Steve Jobs. And so yeah. Wow. Man, I can't believe this is really happening. It just really feels sort of, I don't know really how to explain it in words, because I mean he's a really inspirational to everybody. And if it wasn't for him, some people wouldn't even have jobs. I mean, just imagine that. I mean, Apple, $1 trillion company, wouldn't be able to give other people money and that sort of thing. And with this economy, I mean, imagine that. I mean, a lot of people be homeless, possibly. And, you know, it's just really interesting to think about. Because if you think about, like, if he hadn't made Apple, then some people wouldn't have jobs, so they'd be homeless, and that would wreck our economy up to the point where we're just like, let's see, what's a good example? Sort of like, say that we're, have any of you, if you have seen Contagion, sort of like that, you'd be trying to get as much supplies as you can until you end up being crazy and turning insane out of all of this, and you're trying to figure out how to get food, that sort of stuff. I mean, basically, if he didn't make that, there possibly wouldn't be the USA that we had today, because I mean that's how bad he influenced this. And so yeah, if you think about just one part that changes in life, then maybe you wouldn't be where you are today. So just sort of think about that. And I know I'm sort of talking like C-Nanners, if you guys have ever seen him before. I'm sort of thinking about him, thinking like him, not about him. But yeah. So anyways, you guys, and in this film I went 92 and 11, and I felt like putting this up because it was the best film in my file share, and I really think that it would be pretty good for the day that I'm mentioning right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.